One of the biggest questions we get asked is, how can I make my golf car street legal? So this idea of golf cars being street legal is becoming more and more popular. If you've ever taken a vacation to Florida or Arizona, you'll see golf cars all over the place, right? You can rent them while you're down there. You can have people taxi you around the little cities you're in, whatever you want. So here in Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, where we have stores, it's starting to catch on here too, right? So as a golf car distributor, it is very important to us to help our customers, help you understand what's possible, what's not possible. We want you to understand the rules, the regulations, and everything that goes into it, right? Because we know that golf cars are used for way more than just golf. You can find golf cars on the golf course, of course, but you can also find golf cars in your neighborhood, down at the lake. If you have property, I mean, people are using them for everything. So for us, it's very important to help you understand what you're getting when you're getting into this. And again, we want to answer that question of, how do I make my golf car street legal? Now, to do that, we do need to start off with some, we'll call them definitions, because there's a lot of different info out there as the golf car industry continues to grow. So let's start with legal definitions of what is a golf car. All right, so believe it or not, the government has put restrictions and laws into place regarding golf cars. So a golf car, as defined by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, is a four-wheeled vehicle that cannot exceed 20 miles per hour. A golf car cannot be used on federal or state highways, but a golf car can cross a state or federal highway if that crossing at that intersection, if the road being crossed, the speed limit is 45 miles per hour or less. Okay, so that's a golf car. There's no other regulations. Basically, the federal government says you cannot drive them on federal or state roads. So according to the federal government, you cannot make your golf car street legal. But if that golf car is no longer a golf car and instead a low speed vehicle, then it can be street legal. So an LSV is a four-wheeled vehicle that cannot exceed 25 miles per hour. It has to have essentially all these safety standards, right? So it's got to have headlights, taillights, it's got to have seat belts, it's got to have a DOT approved windshield, it's got to have rollover protection, it's got to have so many things similar to an actual car or truck, right? These things that can travel on state and federal highways. Now, an LSV can travel on a state or federal highway that is 35 miles per hour or less on the speed limit. So if you have an LSV, you can do that anywhere unless you're in a county or city that specifically says, like on the books, that you cannot do that, right? So the government gives each level below it autonomy to create their own rules. So an LSV, unlike a golf car, an LSV has a vehicle identification number or a VIN number. It has to be titled, so you're paying taxes to the government to title it. And then it also has to be insured like a car. So basically you're looking at it is a small car for you for all intents and purposes, just with those speed regulations on it. So a golf car can be made into an LSV, according to the federal government, as long as you give it a VIN number, a title, and pay insurance on it. So with that being said, there's a lot of other rules and regulations. So again, I actually do want to state that we're not offering legal advice of any kind. This is a video on YouTube, so please treat it as such. Do your own research, but you can find links in the description below on everywhere we found these regulations, and you can double check for yourself. But with that being said, we do want to dive into the state of Missouri and look at Missouri's regulations, but then also look at specific cities in Southwest Missouri where we're located to see what specific cities say are okay for golf cars and LSVs. All right, let's get to the fun part and dive into each of these cities' specific ordinances and see if we can dig through the weeds to see what you need to do to drive your golf car in one of these cities. So let's start with Nixa. Here, our headquarters is actually located in Ozark, but right next door in Nixa has put on the city books a specific ordinance. Ordinance 20-400 gives these regulations for golf car usage. Golf carts, and I do want to take a brief pause here. At Clear Creek, we call them golf cars, not golf carts, because you push a cart, but you drive a car. So we talk about golf cars. That's okay that literally no one else cares about that distinction, but I will read these ordinances as is and just grumble inside, not outside, every time I read golf cart, because I don't like golf carts, golf cars. All right, let's get back to it. Golf carts may be operated on city streets where the speed limit does not exceed 25 miles per hour. So if you're on a city highway, city street, the speed limit is 26 miles an hour or more, you cannot drive your golf car on there. Operators can cross excluded streets, but otherwise you can't drive it on there. A golf car may not be operated on any state highway. Again, going back to every other regulation, the state will not allow you to drive your golf car on there. All operators must have a valid state driver's license. Again, this goes for every single ordinance we talk about. If you don't have a driver's license, you cannot drive anything on a street. City, county, state, federal, whatever. You always have to have a driver's license in good standing. So if yours is not okay, is it revoked for some reason, you cannot drive a golf car. All operators must have a valid City of Nixa permit attached to the rear of the golf car, and Nixa is very good about telling you where to go to get that set up. You can get those. All operators and passengers shall be restrained by seat belts or child safety seats. They can be operated during daytime hours only, so even if you have headlights in Nixa, you cannot drive them. Again, golf cars may not be operated at speeds in excess of 20 miles per hour. If a golf car is going 21 miles per hour, it's technically an LSV, and now you have to pay to title it, license, insurance, all that sort of stuff. All golf cars must be insured, and proof of insurance must be available upon request. So Nixa takes it a step further than the state of Missouri and says if you want to operate on city streets, you have to have your permit, but you also have to have it not licensed, but you have to have it insured. In case something happens, your insurance will cover it. So you can visit the website below to get your permit and get everything sorted out. Okay, so Kimberling City, next to Branson and Branson West, down on beautiful Taylor Rock Lake, also allows golf cars. City Ordinance 340.110 allows golf cars, side-by-sides, ATVs, and other recreational vehicles on city streets. You have to register with the city, which is a recurring theme. Cities want to make sure that they are in control of that and making sure they have a record of all that stuff. Cost is $15 to attach a permit sticker. Must be insured and have proof of insurance. Again, they're kind of taking it like a car. You need to have your insurance on it. Must have your driver's license. So Kimberling City does what a lot of the cities do on this list. They require a 30-inch flag, 30 square inch flag, so a triangle flag, day-glow colored, 7 feet off the ground. So essentially it's a slow-moving vehicle flag saying, hey, there's a golf car up here, other drivers beware. Also in Kimberling City, you must wear seat belts if the vehicle is equipped with them. So if you buy a golf car that does not have seat belts, based on what the ordinance says, you don't have to wear them. But if your golf car has seat belts, you have to wear them. Operate daylight hours only unless headlights, taillights, and turn signals are equipped. So if you have those, it looks like you can drive any time of the day or night in Kimberly City. Okay, now let's drive up to beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. At Lake of the Ozarks, many of the towns around the lake have golf cart ordinances because it is such a huge tourist spot with people coming in to enjoy the lake all summer with their lake homes or if they live there. So let's dive into each of these cities one by one. All right, start with Osage Beach, where one of our stores is located. Municipal Code Chapter 390 allows golf cars and utility vehicles on certain city streets. Must have headlights and taillights when operating between sunset and sunrise. They must have reflex reflectors on each side and the rear. Must have either an exterior mirror mounted on the driver's side or a rear view mirror mounted inside. Must have a parking brake, must have a horn or some other alert sound mechanism. They want a bicycle safety flag, again, 7 feet tall, triangle, 30 square inches, day glow colored. You cannot operate any golf car on any roadway with a speed limit posted above 30 miles per hour. So in Osage Beach, if it's 31 miles per hour and more, no golf cars, 30 and less, golf cars. And again, do not operate federal, state, county highways except across. Okay, let's go to the city of Lake Ozark. So Lake Ozark passed an ordinance a few years ago. They specifically exclude side-by-sides and ATVs, so it is just golf cars. Okay, so golf cars can only be operated on city streets with a posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour or less. So 36 and up, no carts. 35 and less, golf cars. All right. Okay, golf cars operated on public streets are required to have a seat belt or approved safety harness for any passengers under 12 years of age. So if your kiddo is under 12, they have to have a seat belt or a harness of some kind to keep them safe in the golf car. Again, you can drive after dark in Lake Ozark if you have headlights, taillights. I don't think you need turn signals. Golf cars must display the flag we've talked about, 7 feet tall triangle flag, or a slow-moving vehicle safety triangle. So Lake Ozark gives you that option, whichever one works for you. Your golf car in Lake Ozark must be inspected by the Lake Ozark Police Department. You got a one-time $30 registration fee. You have to have your permit displayed on the car. You get it. All right, so on to the city of Eldon. The city of Eldon has a lot. There's a lot going on here. So, city of Eldon, it appears like, they allow golf cars on their city streets. But based on how I was reading their ordinances, it seems like they refer to them as recreational off-highway vehicles, which is different than state statutes. The state and federal differentiates golf cars from recreational off-road vehicles or off-highway vehicles. But regardless, it's the city of Eldon and they can make it whatever they want. So let's dive into it. You must get a permit, of course. Okay, so it looks like a golf car can be used through daytime hours only. No nighttime hours for golf cars. You must have the day glow flag, 7 feet tall, triangular. So in Eldon, city collector, city administration, there's a $15 fee for the permit, but you also, you also have a $35 inspection fee. So count on a total of $50 per golf car. You cannot operate your golf car unless it's been registered with the city collector. Make sure you have all the, insurance, whatever on your golf car also. Okay, now the city of Versailles. The city of Versailles is a fun one. So, like we started out the video by defining the difference between a golf cart and an LSV. Very helpful to get those differences in your mind. The city of Versailles said they don't care about definitions. They say golf cars, per the golf cart definition, are not allowed to operate on city streets. They do allow LSVs. So remember, golf car cannot go over 20 miles per hour. an LSV can go up to 25 miles per hour, but must have all the safety features. However, okay, so the city of Versailles is like, okay, LSVs are great. You can have an LSV, but we're going to call it a golf car. So very confusing. Their ordinance is for LSVs. They call them golf cars. We'll see if we can get through this. Okay. Apparently they don't have a deep and abiding love for the subtleties of small four-wheeled vehicle classification. So an LSV can be operated on streets, roads, and alleyways. They must be in compliance with National Highway Traffic Safety Administration standards. They must be registered and licensed per the city. Okay, so Versailles goes one step further than the state and federal laws. They say if you have to be 18 years old to operate one on city streets. And when there's a speed limit sign, you must go equal to or less than the city's posted speed limit. So in Versailles, the city police department must inspect your golf car before you can get a permit and start driving on city streets. After the inspection, there's a one-time fee of $25 to get your license sticker that must be affixed to the left front exterior panel of the golf car. Okay, in Versailles, you can operate a golf car at night so long as you have headlights, taillights, brake lights, and turn signals, which again is part of the standard required equipment on an LSV. So they're kind of saying what we already know. Yep, that's it. They pretty much follow all those, adding a couple extra things to it. Great. All right, let's dive into Camden, which is similar to the city of Versailles in that they allow LSVs. They do not allow golf cars, but they call they call LSVs golf cars. So I'm also very confused. Very telenovela feel to it. More of a who's on first, what's on second. Okay, but instead, Camden will even take it one step further than Versailles. It says that if you're operating a golf car, you must wear a helmet. It does not mention passengers wearing a helmet, so very strange. But they set their speed limit for golf cars, which again are LSVs, at 20 miles per hour, whereas an LSV is rated to do 25, but they moved it back. Again, they can do whatever they want. The state of Missouri allows for that. Like Versailles, you must be 18 years old or older to be able to operate a golf car, again, LSV, on city streets. You must have the 7-foot Dayglow bicycle flag. You can operate at night, again, so long as you have headlights, taillights, brake lights, which is an LSV. Okay, and that's it for Camden. So let's dive into Warsaw. So the city of Warsaw actually does not allow golf cars or LSVs. Actually doesn't mention LSVs, so maybe they're okay on their streets. However, Warsaw and probably a lot of cities in the area are like this. They make exceptions for like parades, public events, transporting things during events like that, so long as they have permission. Like you have to have permission to do that during events. All right, let's jump to city of West Plains. We also have a store in West Plains, so this is very great. I couldn't find really an ordinance in West Plains, but there was a news story done a few years ago saying that West Plains abides by the state of Missouri regulation for golf cars and LSVs, so that's helpful. But they did add that people driving golf cars must have a valid driver's license, and they do specifically state golf cars, not LSVs. So it seems like you can drive on West Plains city streets so long as you have a license. Okay, so jump over to Carl Junction. So Carl Junction is near our Lamar store. Carl Junction does allow golf cars on city streets, but there are a few restrictions. Okay, you can operate a golf car on city streets so long as you maintain financial responsibility, meaning make sure it's insured. You can drive at night, at dark, if it's got headlights, taillights, brake lights. again, and then they just go back to the normal regulations for golf cars and LSVs on crossing highways and that sort of thing. Okay, so that is ordinances, golf car, street legal stuff wrapped up for the state of Missouri. If you know of any cities, any counties in Southwest Missouri that I didn't cover in this list, please send those to me. If they have ordinances on the books for driving a golf car or LSV legally on their city streets, we'd love to add that to the list, and just make sure that everybody who needs to know about it will know and have that information. For a more in-depth dive into this, if you go to clearcreekgolfcar.com, go to our blog, there's a giant blog post with more info, links to everything. But again, links are below. You can find that, and please comment below if you know of those cities. Reach out to us if we missed anything or if we needed to add anything to this. Awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.